The first time the villagers spoke the boy's name, it was not with kindness. They called him strange child, witch-born, stormless omen, anything but the name his mother had given him, Io. He was born on a night that should have been filled with rain. The sky had gathered thick, heavy clouds, the kind that promised a downpour strong enough to drum on rooftops and soak the thirsty earth. The farmers had smiled that evening, whispering that their crops would finally be saved. But the rain never came. Instead, the clouds hung in silence, and beneath that uneasy sky, Ao was born. His mother, Sade, was a trader of herbs, beads, and scraps, whatever she could carry from one village to the next. She lived in a small hut at the edge of the village, where the road turned to dust and the laughter of others rarely reached. People looked down on her. "She sells things no one needs," they would say. "She speaks too softly, like she's hiding secrets." When Io was born, the whispers sharpened. No rain that night. A bad sign. A cursed child. Sade ignored them all. She held her son close and whispered, "You are not a curse. You are a gift, even if the world refuses to see it." As Io grew, the strange things began. Water in bowls would ripple when he laughed. Dry leaves would tremble when he cried. Once, when he touched the cracked earth behind their hut, a single green sprout pushed its way up through the dust. Sade saw it. She never told anyone. "Hide it," she warned him gently. "The world fears what it does not understand." So Io learned to keep quiet, to watch, to wonder. Then came the long drought. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The sun burned brighter, hotter, crueler. The river shrank into a thin, muddy line. Crops that once stood tall now drooped and died, their leaves brittle as ash. The farmers grew restless. "We have done everything," one shouted in the village square. "Prayers, offerings, rituals, yet the sky gives us nothing." Children went to bed hungry. Mothers stretched what little food remained. Even the strongest men began to fear what was coming. Word reached the king. The king arrived with guards, banners, and urgency in his voice. He called upon every herbalist, every spiritualist, every wise elder across the land. "Tell me why the rains have abandoned us," he commanded. One by one, they came forward. An old herbalist examined the soil. "The earth is tired," she said, but offered no cure. A spiritualist burned incense and spoke to the wind. "The spirits are silent," he admitted. Another claimed the stars were misaligned. Another blamed forgotten traditions. But none could bring the rain. And with each passing day, hope faded. Ao watched it all from the edge of the crowd, his small hand gripping his mother's. "Mama," he whispered, "I think I can help." Sade's heart tightened. She had feared this moment. The eyes of the village had always been unkind. If they saw what he could do, would they fear him more? But she looked at the farmers, tired, desperate, breaking. She looked at her son, and she nodded. The next morning, before the sun rose fully, Io walked toward the dry fields. At first, no one noticed him. Then someone laughed. "Look! The trader's boy thinks he can fix the sky." Others joined in. "Go home, child. Magic won't grow crops. Or maybe he'll scare the rain away even more." Io stopped. For a moment, doubt crept in. Then he remembered the sprout that had grown beneath his fingers, the way water had answered his laughter. He stepped forward. "I'm not here to scare the rain," he said quietly. "I'm here to call it." The laughter faded into murmurs. Even the king, standing at a distance, watched with curiosity. Io walked into the middle of the cracked field. He knelt. The earth beneath him was dry, lifeless, silent. He closed his eyes. At first, nothing happened. The wind did not stir. The sky did not change. The villagers shifted impatiently. Then Io placed his hands on the ground and listened. He felt it, deep beneath the surface. Not gone, just waiting. Water, hidden far below, like a breath, held too long. Come back, he whispered. The ground trembled. A faint ripple spread outward from his hands, like a stone dropped into still water. The air shifted. Clouds began to gather. The villagers gasped. The sky, once empty and harsh, darkened. Ao stood, lifting his hands toward the heavens. Please, he said, not as a command, but as a plea. For them. Thunder rolled. A single drop of rain fell. Then another, and another, until the sky broke open. Rain poured down in a heavy, unstoppable downpour. It soaked the fields, filled the river, washed over rooftops and faces. Farmers laughed, cried, fell to their knees as water returned to their land. Children danced. The earth drank deeply. And where there had been dust, life began again. Days later, green shoots spread across the fields. Weeks later, crops stood tall and strong. When harvest came, it was more plentiful than anyone could remember. Food filled every home, hunger vanished, and the village, once dry and broken, flourished again. This time, when the villagers spoke the boy's name, it was different. Ayo, they said, with respect. Ayo, the rain-caller. Ayo, the boy who saved us. The same people who had once mocked him now greeted him with smiles. The king himself came to see him. You have a rare gift, he said. One that could serve the entire kingdom. Ayo looked at his mother. Sade smiled softly. Go where you are needed, she told him. But never forget where you came from. And Ayo didn't. Because he remembered the dust, he remembered the hunger, and most of all, he remembered what it felt like to be unseen. So wherever the rain stopped, wherever the land cried out, and wherever people lost hope, a boy once called Strange would arrive, place his hands upon the earth, and listen, and the rain would follow.